So in this video I will be explaining about differential amplifiers. So what is a differential amplifier? A differential amplifier is a one which amplifies the difference between the two signals. And as you can see, this is how a differential amplifier looks. This is MOSFET 1, this is MOSFET 2. These are the two resistances and this is the two inputs. One input is VN1, other input is VN2. So as I said, this is an amplifier which will amplify the difference between the two signals. So why do we use differential amplifiers? Differential amplifiers are mostly used because of their noise cancelling property. That is, they have ability to delete the common noise between the two signals. Okay, now coming to some of its operations. So in this, as you can see, the total current flowing through the transistors, I mean the MOSFETs, is ISS, right? This ID1 and ID2 both sum up to ISS. As you can see, ISS is equal to ID1 plus ID2. And to understand this graph, you should know this equation. This is the current in saturation. That is, ID is equal to half nu Cox W by L VGS minus VTH whole square, right? So to understand this graph, we should just know that that ID is directly proportional to VGS. That is, if ID is more, then VGS will be also more, and if VGS is more, ID will be more. Okay, so this VGS is nothing but this gate source voltage. This is gate terminal, this is source terminal. So this is also gate terminal, this is source terminal. So if this VN1 will be more, this ID1 will be more. If this VN2 will be more, this ID2 will be more. So that is what is shown in this graph. As you can see, this x-axis represents VN1 minus VN2. That is, if VN1 is greater than VN2, it will lie in this coordinate, and if VN1 is less than VN2, this will lie in this coordinate. Okay, so as you can see that if VN1 is very much greater than VN2, right, that means at the extreme of this axis, what you find? See, as you can see that this this curve represents ID1 and this curve represents ID2. So the extreme of this axis, that is when VN1 is very much greater than VN2, there ID1 will be very high, that is almost equal to ISS, and this is the ID2 curve which is almost equal to 0. Okay, so as I said earlier that ISS is nothing but the sum of ID1 and ID2. So if one of them, that is for example if ID2 is equal to 0, then ID1 will be almost equal to ISS. That is why at the extreme of this axis, when VN1 is very much greater than VN2, ID1 will approach ISS. Similarly, if in this part of the coordinate, that is if VN2 is very much greater than VN1, in that case this ID2 curve will almost approach ISS and this ID2 curve will approach 0, right? And if this VN1 is equal to VN2, what does that mean? That if VN1 and VN2 are same, that means both have same gate source voltage, right? In that case, ID1 should be equal to ID2. So this is what happens here. So if ID1 is equal to ID2, right, what will happen? ID1 will be equal to ISS by 2 and ID2 will also be equal to ISS by 2. That is what happens. That is this point. This point represents when VN1 is equal to VN2. That is, the difference between them is 0, right? So at this point, this ID1 is also equal to ISS by 2 and this ID2 is also equal to ISS by 2. That is, they both are sharing the current equally. This is the current graph. Now coming to this voltage graph, as you can see, this is also very similar graph. So let's try to understand this. So in this we have the same circuit, but in this we used KVL equations. That is, if I use the KVL in this branch, I get this Vx value. What is this Vx? Vx is actually this, the output, this one, and this is Vy. Okay, yes. So Vx is equal to VDD minus RDID. This is this equation is achieved by applying KVL in this branch, and Vy is equal to VDD minus RDID2. This is achieved by using KVL in this branch. So to understand this graph, let's once see some of the equations and the cases. So the same equations I have written here, okay. So Vx and Vy, which I got by using KVL, and again just like similar one, Is is equal to Id1 plus Id2. So let's consider the case 1, when V in 1 is very much greater than V in 2, which means that Id1 will be also very much greater than Id2, right? That and this is because V in is proportional to Id, right? So if V in 1 is greater, Id1 will also be automatically greater, right? So in such case, if Id1 is very much greater than Id2, that will mean that Id2 is almost equal to 0 and Id will be almost equal to Is as per this equation, right? Because if Id2 is 0, that means Is will be almost equal to Id1. Fine. So from this, what I just put these values in this equation, and I get Vx is equal to Vdd minus Rdiss, and Vy will be automatically Vdd minus 0 is equal to Vdd. And the case 2 is when V in 1 is very much lesser than V in 2. In that case, Id2 will be very much greater than Id1, again because of this condition, right? So what will happen? This time Id1 will be almost equal to 0 and Id2 will be almost equal to Iss. So again I put these conditions in this one, and again I get this following equation, that is Vx is equal to Vdd and Vy is equal to Vdd minus Rdiss. Right? And the case 3 is when both the inputs are same. So in this case, again Id1 should be equal to Id2, and for this to be same, for in this equation, what is the condition? That Id1 is equal to Id2 is equal to Iss by 2. So again, if I put this in Vx and Vy, I get this equation. It is Vdd minus Rdiss by 2 and Vdd minus Rdiss by 2. So these are the cases which I have represented in the graph, as you can see. So this right extreme shows that when V in 1 is very much greater than V in 2, right? What will happen to this Vy? What happened to this Vy when V in 1 is very much greater than V in 2? V in 1 is very much greater than V in 2. As you can see, Vy is equal to Vdd and Vx is equal to Vdd minus Rdiss. That is what is given. Vy is equal to Vdd and Vx is equal to Vdd minus Rdiss. And similarly, at the left extreme, when V in 2 is very much greater than V in 1, okay, what will happen in that case? V in 2 is very much greater than V in 1, Id2 will be very much greater than Id1, and in that case again Vx is equal to Vdd, Vy is equal to Vdd minus Rdiss. So they are almost the reverse, right? It's very clear. And the condition when V in 1 is equal to V in 2, that is this point. What should be the value? Vdd minus Rdiss by 2, right? So that is what we got here. So I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can post your doubts in the comment section. Thank you.